My name is Rachel and welcome to day 7 of Vlogmas, and I decided I wanted to do a bit of a discussion video today about how I choose what books I want to read and just a bit of general unhappiness about my reading this year and how I want to deal with that for next year. So there is one main thing that has really got me down this year and made me not enjoy my reading as much, and that is that for this year it was the first time that I set the Goodreads goal for myself. So I've been on Goodreads for quite a while, but not regularly, not checking every book I read, and I only started towards the end of last year. So this year I decided that I would set it to 100. I have never counted how many books I've read in a year before, and loads of other people picked 100 and they read a lot of books, and I read all the time, so I thought 100 is probably what I would read then, so I'll pick that. And I am currently on 83 books, so I need to read another 17 books by the end of this year. I really want to meet that goal, and I am going to meet that goal, and I have every intention of meeting that goal now. However, I'm not going to be doing that next year. It has made my reading too competitive this year. I have constantly wanted to get to that goal, and it meant that I was stressed while I was reading some books. I especially felt this when I was reading It by Stephen King. It is a humongous book. It took a long time to read it, and that's fine. If you take a long time to read a book, it doesn't matter. But once you have a Goodreads goal and you're supposed to be reading this many books and you're this many books behind, it starts to become a problem. Well, it's not a problem, but I am seeing it as a problem even though it's not. The second thing is that it meant that I skipped some classics this year, and when I was doing Victober, I just don't read classics as fast. I just don't. And it meant that I was getting stressed during Victober because I was like, oh, I've only read this many books and I still want to meet my reading goal and blah, blah, blah. And it's just annoying. And it means that my reading is changing in relation to that. So number one, this year I've read a lot of short books. A lot of short books. At the moment that I have piled at the side of my bed to read soon are these. And as you can tell, they are all tiny. Obviously, I am excited for them. I have The Sign of Four, which is the next Sherlock Holmes book that I'm up to, and I am super excited to read this. And obviously, I've been really excited all year to read Crow and then reread Grief is a Thing with Feathers. I've mentioned it all the time. And I am really excited for these two poetry collections. So it's not exactly a bad thing. These are things that are on my TBR, and they are things that I'm really excited about and really think I'm going to enjoy. The problem is that I know I am reading them to hit my Goodreads goal instead of because I want to, and I'm not picking up the books that are at the very, very, very top of my just what I want to read, not as a physical list, but in my head I have books that are very high on my list of things that I want to be reading ASAP because I just really want to get to them and I would enjoy them, and I know I would, and I haven't done. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a little bit, because it is something that's really bothering me. The goal is going this year, that's just not going to be a thing next year. However, it's not completely the goal's fault. I have some shorter books that I'm not reading. So some examples of this are Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. This is a very short book. It's not got tiny, it'll be the fastest read. It's only 200 pages, and I want to read this so much, but I've not picked it up. And the same with The Power by Naomi Alderman. They haven't picked it up, even though I've mentioned a lot that dystopian is something that is at the forefront of my mind at the moment and something that I'm so interested in reading, but I'm not picking it up. And this is happening across the board. So this one is probably because it's a bigger book, and it is Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters. Again, very high on my TBR of just things I want to read in my lifetime, not this year, but something that I want to read so much, and it's nothing to do with booktube or goals or anything like that. This is just a book that I'm thoroughly interested in and want to read. The same with the Pierce Brown trilogy. I want to finish this so much. I want to reread these two. Why can I not hold books today? What am I doing? I want to read Red Rising and Golden Sun so much, and I want to read Morning Star so much, but I'm not doing, and I'm putting it off. And why am I doing that? And two of the best examples that I have are over here. So the first one is the book that is probably at the top of my just personal books that I want to read so much, and not influenced by anyone else, just a book that I want to read the most in the world. And I mentioned this at the start of this year as being a book that I wanted to read probably the most ever, and I've had it. I either got it for Christmas or my birthday last year, so I've had it for over a year now, and it is Vladimir Nabokov's Lolita. I want to read this so much. I find the idea of the story fascinating. My favourite singer in the world is Lana Del Rey. She is phenomenal, and a lot of her stuff centres around this, and she talks about this book a lot in her lyrics. She even has a song called Lolita, and she is someone who her work and her discography focuses around being in love with older men, and a lot of it comes from this as well. And this is so high on my to read list, and I'm not picking it up, and I look at it all the time. I think about it constantly and how much I want to read it, and I don't pick it up. And not as much as that, but very similar to that is In Cold Blood, which I've had for about 2 years now, and this is by Truman Capote. It's a true crime novel that he wrote about a murderer in Kansas, I think. Yeah, Kansas. In the 50s or the 60s. And I love true crime, and I love literature, and the thought of just a great literary writer writing a true crime novel is something that I'm very excited about, and I would love to read. And even inside, the writing is quite big. It wouldn't be a hard book to read, and my girlfriend read it a few months ago and she loved it, and she was like, "You're gonna love it, you should pick that up soon." And I wanted to all the time, and I've not done. And it's just this thing where it is the pressure that I've been making those goals, and that is annoying, but it's not completely that. Some of it's me as well, and I am finding that I'm opting for books that I don't necessarily want to read so much, but I'm not picking the books that I just have this burning desire to read. So yeah, next year I'm going to be a lot more chill. I have one big goal that it will be the thing that I actually want to work towards. That's the only big goals that I have for next year. All my other goals, I think I'm going to try and make them to be more centred around me and my enjoying my reading year, because that's what goals should be. So I'm going to try and make a list of the books that are the highest on my to read in my lifetime list. That's what I really want to do at the moment. And then I'm going to try and just have goals that centre around read 5 books that are on that list this year. Read 5 graphic novels this year, because I love graphic novels and I enjoy them so much, and I would be happy to do that. And I want to just be happy and just be this was amazing, because I looked through my Goodreads this morning and I was thinking, what's my favourite book of the year? And nothing stood out. And last year I had such a good reading year, and I had Red Rising, and I had Grief is a Thing with Feathers, and I loved those, and I could not pick between them at all. I still can't. They are still the 2 favourite books of that year. And I had The Colour Purple I read last year, that's phenomenal. And this year, the only things that really stand out to me are the graphic novels that I've read. There are some books that I have really enjoyed, but the ones that I'm really loving are my graphic novels. So yeah, I'm just going to try and hopefully curb my reading for next year and just really centre it around me enjoying myself and having a good year. So yes, that was just a chatty, discussion-y video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!